Hello, Raisha here. This video is for Faye Play on Den of Angels, who requested somebody to shoot a video on how tight their dolls are strung. Of course, it's really a preference. I personally like my dolls super tight, but I think it depends a lot on how you tend to pose them. Real tight strings are really good for like standing poses, whereas if you tend to leave them sitting around or laying around a lot, then maybe you want looser strings. Just to pull on them here, just to kind of pull lightly, it really doesn't come away from the body much at all here on the leg. Pulling as hard as I can, that's about all the further away I can get it. So she is, really, really good and tight. I'm pulling really hard there, and really not much slack in there. Her arms I do have quite a bit looser. Yeah, again, that's just a preference, but she does tend to lean back a little bit when sitting, and I don't know, I guess it doesn't really bother me because I usually pop this front piece forward because that's a lot more natural anyways. That's really more how people sit, so I guess I never really thought too much about it. But if you do hot glue sueding here on the back of you just put a little bit of hot glue and smooth it flat, like back here in the back of the hip joint, then this won't slide. It'll stick in that hot glue, so it'll hold it. So she should be able to hold sitting straight up without, because it wants to slip right there. So a little bit of hot glue or traditional suede in there will help her sit straight up. But if you just, this back joint piece, if you just tilt it forward, which unclothed looks pretty unnatural, but when the doll has clothes on, you really don't notice that, and they look real natural. But I think all of my dolls are just about as tight as I can get them. That's as hard as I can pull there, so really not much slack, but arms are pretty loose actually. I think if you hold the doll out and give them a little shake, if they stay straight, that's about how I like them. Here, Ray's kind of solid as a rock. I could shake her all day long and she's not going to collapse. If you have I don't think any of my dolls are really very floppy. But yeah, here we go. See, she just kind of crumples in half. She's pretty loose. And that's way too loose for me, but like I said, it's just preference, and if you do a lot of sitting poses, then maybe you want your doll all floppy like that. But I like mine nice and stiff. Oh, there, her leg's cracked, but a little harder in sitting poses when they're really tight, but makes standing easy as can be. And the only other, I got one more to show you here. Clear some of these other ones out of the camera view. Alright, my Yao. She's actually kind of loose compared to my other dolls, but just pulling on that. But her, if she's nice and tight, she'll stand with her legs bent. As long as you get this little lock, has to be up inside on the ledge there. And if you've got that in there, and you've got her nice and tight, she should. Well, now she doesn't want to. Well, maybe I just need to tighten her up again. Like I said, she was a little looser than I was expecting there when I picked her up. Usually she stands up fairly easily like this. Well, yeah, there we go. A little bit of fiddling, but I think she has to be pretty nice and tight in order to pull off that stance. But she's pretty stable once I got her up in there. So, anyways, I don't know. Oh, well, she sits up fairly straight. Well, no, there she goes. Haha. Alright, anyways, hopefully that, I don't know, helped